going to be Throwback SnD. Obviously, as I said, this is going to come down to which team is going to be able to adapt and play the smartest, which I believe favors the side of BDB with Speeder Raider and OVO Bandit. I really think they'll be able to take this map and tie it up 1-1 as it is. Mike and I up 1-0 after that map 1 hardpoint win, but it looks like they're loading in map 2 right now, so let's get you right into it.
So this is going to be map 2, Throwback SnD, and we're coming off that scorched hardpoint, which was a very tightly contested match, and I feel like this one could be the same way. Still joined by Air Expert, and he is one of the greatest casters we have the pleasure of having with us in the studio tonight.
Thank you. That means a lot, Sammy. But if we look at this right now, I think, man, I don't know who's gonna have it. It's gonna be a close game. Bryant steps up a lot in SnD, but so does Dab Pressure. So I don't know what's gonna happen here. I think it's gonna probably go to round 11, in my opinion.
I sure do hope so. As in this round 1, we see Dab Pressure getting the plan off already in a 1v1 against Speedy Red Raider, and I believe Pressure saw him going towards white fences right there, and he's chasing after him.
I mean, don't forget to add about the diffuse and the non-diffuse that they added in this update. So pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is when you diffuse it and you diffuse it and you plant it, you don't get any gain toward your specialist. They changed that in this new update because the pro players thought it wasn't right to go 0-6 and be able to get be able to get your kinetic or your camo by just plants and diffuses. That is true.
I must agree with that, and I believe that's going to be a huge part of this game because with Speedy Red Raider running kinetic in this 2v2, he's going to have to rely on those kills, and in a 2v2 it's hard to get enough kills to earn his kinetic, although he does find 2 that round, or I believe, no, just 1, I'm sorry, and takes the round 1-0 for BDB.
I don't really know the math on this, but I really don't know if you could get camo and kinetic in this new update playing a 2v2.
That could very well be possible, but we do see Speeder Raider pick up a second when he snaps on a Dab Pressure right there, and First is in a 1v1 against Bandit now.
They're going opposite sides of the map. Here comes I think, yeah.
Oh, he's going to actually elect to back down, so that's OVO Bandit running all the way towards back bus. He's still going to go towards mid, though, and gets cut down.
He missed him right up that wall run.
He did, just didn't see him sitting in that corner, so Mike and I will tie it up at 1 round apiece.
You can't be choking these 1v2 situations, you know, you guys stay together, run together, get the bomb down, you know, use the odds. You put the bomb down, it's pretty much like another third person on the map. You can play time, play back, just run away from them, especially with that, you know, 2v1 advantage.
I do agree, especially in that, like you said, getting the bomb down is key. And I don't know if the update where you lose your specialist is kind of discouraging teams from planting, because obviously it is a huge advantage to help you win rounds. As Perch picks up the first one, it's immediately traded out with Bandit getting the kill and pressure.
Bandit does a smart move before and he's posted up.
And it looks like he may be able to get a kill.
I think he has spotted him. I think he's going for the chase now.
Spot him. And Perch is already halfway towards his camo, sitting at 3-1 right now. Oh, both players spot each other. Shots are traded, and that's going to be OVO Bandit able to win that. Good use of the bus right there.
That's a head-to-head matchup of the 2 best slayers in the AAWL right now. You can't miss it. That's going to be a good gunfight throughout the game. You're going to have to watch it, especially in this uplink. Even though Mike lost it, I'm going to give him advantage most of the time against OVO Bandit. His gun still is just amazing. He just needs a little bit more brains to get, you know, be the great player that he needs to be.
And one thing we do see with Perst, as Speeder Rear gets that first kill and pressure, is that he's electing to use the NV4. Now the NV4 does work on this map, obviously, but it's not something that we really see him being very comfortable with usually. He's going to be usually a K-bar player, and I feel like that just plays better to his abilities of being kind of a gun running type guy, although he does get that first kill, and it's immediately traded out by Speeder Red Raider for BDB to take a 3-1 lead. I
think it's killing him using that MV4 because, you know, he loves to run and gun. He loves to fly places, and you can't really fly with MV4 because you're gonna get gunned by the K-bar every time. So now he has to sit back and kind of camp corners and wait for the, shots to come through and let him put a line up. And I don't think that's good for their team, especially because he thrives on running and slaying and jumping high and floating everywhere pretty much and gunning everybody.
Exactly, and as you said, we've seen him throughout this map. He's with an MV4, you expect him to kind of sit back and play some head glitches, whereas he hasn't been doing that. He's still been playing like he has the K-bar in his hands, and it's costing him so far as Dab Pressure picks up that kill on Speeder Red Raider. But it's traded out again. Go ahead.
They have to stop getting first blooded. Every time they're losing around, they're getting first blooded. They can't rely on 1v2s to win. I mean, even the round they won was a 1v2 if you think about it. Like, they can't be doing that anymore. They got to stay together, play smart. If they want to push together, buy mid together, overwhelm one guy, and go for the other one. You can't be getting this first blooded thing. It's not going to win around like that.
It really is, as they're now down 4-1. And I think this kind of goes back to what we talked about with Perst. With BDB, it's just this smarter team, just whenever it comes to Call of Duty. Because Perst, as we know, is one of the greatest shooters we have in the AAWL, but his smarts of the game is where he lacks.
Like that gunfight right there where Bryant, Speedy Red Raider, gunned him with a K-bar close range. You can't be using MV4 on this map, man. I just want, especially in his hand, maybe Dab Pressure, but you cannot be using the MV4. It's not going to work out for him, dude. It's bothering me so much.
I must say that I completely agree with you, because we see everybody else running the K-bar and just using the MV4. You're, no matter, like, unless you're shooting from blue to silo, you're almost always going to be at a disadvantage. And we see the K-bar right there coming in as Dab Pressure is able to clutch that 1v2 again and take that round, but still a 1v2.
This comes back to his knowledge of the game. This is the first time he's going to go blue all game with MV4. Like, you gotta, be smart. Don't use it in this close range.
And he's using it to, well, it looked like he was going to push up. He's going to be watching that haystack, which is the right spot to be using this MV4, despite the fact that BDB is now flanking around towards him, as they've already gotten through mid, pushed all the way up to B, and figured out basically where they are.
If you can just stay posted up, don't jump around, he should be able to win gunfight.
That pressure gets
fly
one.
together. They need to get together.
And here's another that Persh is just so far away. He's not able to help his teammate. Pressure has to use his FTL just to stay alive, and barely survives that gunfight. And Persh is now caught up to him, but it's almost too late. They do end up winning that round, though.
Yeah, it's a good thing pushing together. I still do not like this MV4, man. I cannot stress it enough. I think it's a dumb play for him. His play style. Maybe he's not feeling confident in his K-bar. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe they don't want to fly places. But that's the guy we know. That's the guy that drops 30s and drops wardens by flying everywhere, flying high, and just outgunning everybody.
Exactly. And now we're kind of messing with him for using the MV4. He's sitting at 5-5, so he's middle of the road with the Slayers. But it comes down to just the situation he's put himself in. I believe he got that kill last round because they finally had a 2v1 instead of a 1v2, and Mike and Ike just needs to kind of just play. If they're going to use this MV4, then they have to use it appropriately. They're still playing around him having a K-bar, and it's not working so far.
Look at him again. Look at the distance they're spread apart.
But Dab Pressure's defusing the bomb right now. Dab Pressure's about to get this defuse. Oh my word.
The ninja. That's the smart play. Dab Pressure needs to just coach him, and coach, Mike up and tell him, what to do, because he is by far one of the smartest players in the game. With that play, he outplayed him pretty much. He knew the plan. He knew he knew how they play, and he knew they're gonna back up, so he just jumped on it.
Absolutely. Nobody dies that round. The plant and the defuse come in, and with that defuse, Dab Pressure earns the Scarab, and he's still working towards that Trinity as well.
I love the way he's using the MV4 now. He's setting back on a head glitch, posting up. This is where he needs to be with it if he's going to use it on this small map where people are flying everywhere.
Exactly. And it looks like he may have a gunfight coming soon. Oh, Bandit! Gives him the
He has
snapper.
to be ready for that, man.
Another thing with MV4, because it is so slow compared to the K-bar, you have to be on a head glitch to where you know that that just the built-in lack of recoil for your gun is going to give you that automatic advantage, and it doesn't work out as BDB takes the round 5-4. Speedy Red Raider picking up that kill on pressure.
I mean, Bandit snapped on him, you're right, but he took like 2 seconds to shoot. If he just would have been ready, paying attention, would have had his gun ready. Like he's looking down the sights, he just had to shoot, and he does not pull the trigger in time, and he gets gunned by that close cane bar every time.
Absolutely, and one thing we talked about, Speedy Red Raider now just a kill away from this kinetic. Bandit still 2 or 3. I don't believe he's going to be able to get it this round because kind of what you mentioned, just the math may not allow it. But Speedy Red Raider is 1 kill away, and up 5-4. If Speedy Red Raider gets a kill here, you still feel comfortable going into that round 11 possibly with that kinetic on your side. Until now,
they want to win this. Yeah, they're going to have to keep him from getting another kill in this game. If he gets 1 more kill, it's over. If they win this
now
round,
down to
that's
1v1 right here. So Perst isn't able to gain his camo. Bandit is now a kill away from his camo. So it actually is going to be possible for Bandit and Speedy Red Raider both to get their specialists. As Bandit's just going to play the clock, and Pressure knows this, he has to push him to get a kill. And Pressure just misses shots. Just straight missed some shots there. He just missed. I don't even know what to say about that one.
OVO Bandits came in here and told me about the lag was horrendous.
Yeah, I feel bad, but that round was ours no matter what. That's all I'm saying.
He came in to clarify that he does feel bad, but the round is completely theirs.
I have to agree. I mean, if he's complaining about the lag, and as we've seen him go out and give himself up for the kill, he tries to do it right there, and Pressure just chokes the kill. And I mean, that's a 6-4 win for BDB. They tie the series up at 1 apiece. Let's throw it over our analyst desk and see what they have to say about that one.
So the series is now tied up at 1 apiece, and one thing you obviously heard me and our expert talking about a lot that map was Perst FPS's use of the NV4. He was using an NV4, which is okay on Throwback. It's not a bad decision at all, but the way that he's using it really hurt his team because he is usually a K-bar player who is running, gunning, getting up in your face with it, and with that NV4, you can't do that, but he was still trying to play that way for the first 5-6 rounds. He's still trying to rush up to bomb, rush out these lanes with the NV4, and that's just not going to happen. You're not going to be able to win gunfights against a K-bar and E-Red like that. And it wasn't until he decided to sit back and started watching those lanes that they started to win a couple of rounds. But still, he was just too far behind at that point in time that they just couldn't get back into it. And it's BDB taking them out, tied it up at 1 apiece. We're going to be back on Throwback for Uplink next time. We'll get you right into that after this break.